You can have the look, you can have the words, you can even have the job title. But if you make this one leadership mistake, no one will trust your direction, no one will follow your vision, and no one will take you seriously as a man. If you want to be respected as a leader in your business, in your job, in your career, in your relationship, in your family, or just in your life in general, you must eliminate this mistake fast. Hey guys, it's Brendan, and leadership is an important trait that's overlooked by so many people. Now, we live in a world where there's not very many good leaders in this world. Like, just take a look at some of the political leaders. Now, it's not a conversation about that. I'm just giving you an example. Like, some of the leaders of our country, like, we don't look up to them. They should be the ones that are leading the country that everyone looks up to, but they don't, right? The world is starving for better leaders in this world. People are always on their phone. Why? Because they're looking for something. They're looking for someone to follow because they need a leader to maybe tell them what to do or so they can make sense of the world. Leadership is such an important trait that gets overlooked by so many. And so I want you to eliminate this mistake that you might be making so then you can become a better leader, just one by one. Now, you don't have to go on and lead many people and hundreds of thousands of people, but you just leading your family, if everyone does that, then the world is going to be a much different place, and that place starts with you. You've got to start, be the change that you wish to see in the world. Now, what is this mistake that I'm talking about? The mistake is inconsistency. Now, I used to always say that I would do things in a relationship, but I didn't. I was just saying little things, like I would do this later, or I would organize this, or I'd get this done, etc., etc. And they seem like little things, and I probably did do them, but I didn't do them when I said I would. And so it ended up leading an ex-partner of mine feeling like she couldn't rely on me. She lost trust in me. And so if you're a man and you have a partner that doesn't trust you, it's because you lack in consistency and you're not doing the little things that you say you're going to do, whether that be to yourself, whether that be to others. Now, who wants to follow someone that keeps letting them down? Who wants to follow someone that doesn't do what they say they're going to do? Who wants to follow someone who promises the world but delivers on nothing? No one does. And I didn't realize this at the time, and so I would always be like, it's no big deal, what are you talking about? I'll do it, whether it's today or tomorrow, like what's the matter? But I realized that it wasn't that particular thing that was the issue. It was me saying I'm going to do this, and I was completely unaware of it. I was unconscious to this behavior. And then that obviously followed onto all other areas of my life, and I became inconsistent in different areas. So being consistent is a key. It's the key to a success. You just keep doing the same things over and over again, you'll become a success. That's what success is, consistency, right? And so I learned that the number one mistake kills leadership. It kills the credibility. It's saying one thing and not doing it, or doing something else instead. When your actions don't match your words, you break the trust, and the trust is foundation of leadership, whether that be leadership of yourself. You don't lead your own life, you don't lead others. So it's really important to do what you say you're going to do and be consistent in what you do. Say that you're going to maybe start a exercise routine and you're like, yep, I'm going to do it, and 10 days later you fall off it. People go, oh, he's inconsistent. Maybe it is in a relationship. Maybe you start doing things at the start of a relationship and then halfway through, in a few years, you stop doing those things. Now, unconsciously, you are not being consistent. You might have said at the start, I'll never stop doing this, but you do. It's like, when you have a kid, you might have a baby and be like, I'm going to love you for every day. I'm going to show you how good I am. I'm going to, give you a hug every single day. I'm going to tuck you in all the time. Then they get to 5 and you're like, hurry up, brush your teeth, hurry up, go to bed. That whole thing is just inconsistent. And so we really need to take a good look of our life and understand where we are doing the things that we said that we're not going to do, or where are we not doing the things that we said that we are going to do. Now, Robert Collier said, success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. Similar to what I just said, it's the key. Consistency is the key to success. You just got to keep doing it over and over again and you'll get there. Most people, they find they get a little bit of success in one area, whether that be success in anything, whether that be health, whether that be relationships, whether that be finances and career, or just success in general. And then they get a little bit and they try and maybe stop doing it and do something else, and they start something else. You've just got to double down on that. If you start seeing results, double down on it. That's where their success comes from. So that is the mistake. And I want to just give you a quick little key point here before we actually get to the fix and how to overcome this. But men respect standards, not suggestions. Now, my business took off after I set new standards for myself, and each and every year I do that. There was a time where I kind of had very slight standards. It was just going through when I started the business. And then there was a point in time when I was like, right, things have got to change. And I set new standards for myself in health, in mindset, in what I do every single day, how I train my body, how I train my mind, how I eat, the standards I have for myself financially, what I'm not going to settle for anymore, what am I going to step up to be, who do I need to be, what my standards need to be for me to get to that next level. And I just kept raising my standards, and I still, at the start of every single year, I'm like, what's my new standards? What's my new standards? And then I am able to achieve so much more and set myself higher standards and raise myself to that level because I'm constantly setting new ones, and people respect me and people follow me because of that. And so what I learned by raising my own personal standards every single day and being super disciplined with them is, if you don't set clear, non-negotiable standards for yourself first, you'll never be seen as a true leader. The real leadership is built on example, not talk. Now, if you don't set your own standards, someone else will. If you don't set the standards for your life, who you want to be, who you want to show up with, who you are, what you're going to settle for, or what you're not going to settle for, if you don't set those standards for yourself, someone else will set them for you. Now, if you want to be at the hands of someone else, then don't set any standards for yourself. Just turn this video off. But if you want to be great, if you want to step up and be the best version of yourself, if you want to live life on your terms, you need to set higher standards for yourself, plain and simple. I can tell you through direct experience that my results in life came from a big difference the time I had standards and the time I didn't have standards. So if you want to have a small little lesson that's going to keep you consistent, set your standards and keep hitting them every single day, every single week, and don't let yourself off. Now, J.C. McClellan said, "The man's reputation is what other people think of him. His character is what he thinks of himself." So if you want to raise your character and if you want to raise your reputation, it starts by raising your standards. Now, your reputation of others it's not about you care so much about it, but you need to have a good reputation, right? Because if you don't, people are going to be like, well, who's this person? Who's this person? You could think of someone who doesn't have a good reputation and no one else really values them, no one else wants to spend time with them, and they've got to do a lot to build that up. The best thing to do is to not let your reputation slide. Keep it high, keep your character high within yourself, and keep your standards high, and everything else will flow onto life. Now, this leads me to the part you've been waiting for. How do we fix this? How do we fix this number one mistake that so many people make with leadership? Now, the fix is very simple. Now, key point, I said simple. Maybe not easy, but I said simple. The fix is radical self-integrity. Now, I never used to like myself. You may be able to relate with this. I couldn't even look myself in the mirror longer for, a couple of seconds. I used to see people stare at each other in the eyes, like maybe some personal development event, and you see people, or they'd be talking to someone on stage and they're just staring them in the eyes. I was like, I don't know how they do it. Like, that was just way too much for me. I couldn't even do it to myself. And the reason was, I was lying to myself about who I was. I wasn't this shy, timid, quiet person who wasn't good at anything. Like, it was just a big lie. And two, I wasn't doing what I said I would do. And this is why that I was in that state that I was in. As I said, I was lying to myself about who I was, and I wasn't doing what I said I was going to do. Now, once you fix those two things, everything changes. Now, what I learned is I wanted people to always believe in me, but I had to start keeping my own word first to myself. I had to keep doing what I said I was going to do. The funny thing was, I started to like who I was, and my self-belief and my self-image increased. The world follows men who are internally aligned with a clear mission and unshakable execution along that. Doing the hard things and having discipline and consistency, those people are the ones that go on and achieve things that are amazing. People follow them. The ones who don't, people never got anywhere by not being consistent. Inconsistency got no one nowhere. So if you want to be inconsistent, don't expect to get anywhere. Hey, it's your life, do what you want. You don't have to do this. But I know that if you're here watching this at this point in time, halfway or most of the way through this video, then you want to be great. You want to be the best version of yourself, and you want to be a better leader. And so then just start being consistent. Start doing the things that you say you're going to do and don't ever quit them. And that's just going to build that muscle of execution and consistency and just getting things done. Now, C.S. Lewis said, integrity is doing the right thing even when no one is watching. I always like the saying, and it's like a little driver for me. It's like the work I do in silent, in the dark, is then gets seen in public. And that's what keeps me aligned. Like if someone spent time with me, they would see so much that no one else really knows. The things that I do behind the closed doors in terms of working on myself, including my morning routines, pushing myself, doing all those things. I keep them that way because it's like my little secret weapon. And it's like, I find enjoyment in knowing that people are not doing this to the level that I am. And that's how I'm gonna be so good and get so good at everything. And so that is integrity. Like I live very integral with myself and what I think of myself and who I am and who I want to be. And so the same is true with you. So just think about, something else that's really good that I learned is like, just imagine that there's this imaginary camera on you 24/7. Now, if there was, would you be doing some of the things that you're currently doing right now? If so, why? Why are you doing them? If someone was watching you, you wouldn't do them. So why are you doing them? That's the first place. You're not being true to yourself. So that's the first place to start. Imagine someone's watching you for 24 hours a day, you will be different. So make sure that you eliminate those things. That's gonna help you be more consistent, and then you lead yourself and you'll be able to lead others. So if you wanna lead, you can't afford to be inconsistent. Lead yourself relentlessly and others will follow without question. They'll just get drawn to you. They'll be like, what? There's something about this person that I just wanna be around, I wanna follow. And you'll find that that's what happens. So be the man that does what he says he does. Every single time, no exceptions. So let me know what your biggest takeaway was from this. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Drop in the comments if you have any takeaways from this, any insights, any realizations, what you're committing to doing. If you're gonna be like, right, I'm gonna be consistent now, don't make it 30 days like a challenge, just do it for the rest of your life. You'll learn to love it because you'll see the results in it. As I said, don't forget to like, subscribe. If there's anyone you think can do with this video, share it. And if you need anything at all, I got your back for life. Just let me know, message me, or reach out to me some way, and I'll see you in the next video. You made it to the end of the video and you are one of the top 1%ers who get to this point. Now, if you're sick and tired of not growing to the level that you want, if you're sick and tired of being the same spot that you were 12 months ago, if you're like, you know what, I've got so much more to offer, but I don't really know how to get there, then if that is you, down below, book in your call with one of my team. Just enter your phone, enter your email, and enter your number. And hey, look, we can't reach you if you enter details that are wrong. So enter your right details. We'll be able to reach out to you. We'll show you the 4 stages that we take men through that's gonna completely rip you out of your current situation and push you in a new direction that where you want to go. I will push you as hard as I can to get that outcome for you because I know how much the life is good on the other side of it when we get out of the shit, when we get onto where we want to go. So click the button and I'll see you on the other side.